Well, good evening and welcome into the Bank of Colorado Event Center and welcome into the final match of the 41st Sheila Worley Tournament presented by the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm Ben Blecka. The Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen and the Barton Cougars, number 5, number 3 in the nation, getting set for action. Super duper excited for this one as we come in. The Northeastern Plainswomen, they're 3-0 on the weekend. Our pregame show brought to you by Northeastern Junior College. From Plains to Possibilities, Northeastern Junior College has the educational path for you. Visit NJC.edu. Barton played New Mexico Junior College earlier today, 25-16, 25-16, 25-22. Yesterday for the Barton Cougars, they were able to get a sweep win against Laramie County Community College, 25-21, 25-21, and 25-18. And then they took another win, they lost, to Odessa 3-0. 26-24, 25-23, 25-20. So Barton 2-1 on the weekend, looking to go 3-1. A win for the Northeastern Plainswomen could push them up in the rankings, as they would likely move up at least one spot depending on the rest of the results of the teams in front of them this weekend. But you got to go 4-0. So what's your key to the contest to going 4-0 in this one? We've seen a lot of different things. NJC's hit the ball really, really well this weekend, especially Samantha Mosley. She has been a beast, hitting better than 300 all weekend long. She's over 50 kills this weekend. But I don't think it's the offense. I think it's the back line. The sets that NJC has lost this weekend have been because their back line hasn't been able to control things. And it's, yes, it's Evie Gavette. Yes, it's Sophie Wood. Yes, it's Maddie Shumway, the DSs. But it's the other coverage on the back line. It's not always been those DSs that have been the problem when your outsides are pulled back. Kira Loe-Utre, of course, is being replaced now by Sophie Wood. But Caitlin Barnes there, when you're pulling back a setter on a receive or within the rally, when you're pulling your middles back to cover that short center tip, being able to get a commanding control is, I think, the biggest challenge for this Plainswoman team within the rally. It's nothing from the word go, I think, that is giving them problems. Their serve receive has been pretty good this weekend. They have not been aced an overwhelming amount, a little bit less than their season average, but it is coming in and getting those in rally, being able to stay in system for long sustained times, because if there's one thing this Barton team has done really well all weekend long, it's get into long rallies. And the Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen, they get into a lot of long rallies, but they don't always maintain their footing with where they are within that rally. So that's what I'm looking for. This is really the last, it is, it's not really, it is the last non-conference test for the Northeastern Plainswomen. Every opponent the rest of the way is a Region 9 foe. So this is the last time you see a team that is not a familiar team inside Region 9, your last chance to hone those things ahead of the Tuesday-Wednesday trip to Nebraska to take on that North Platte and Southeast next week. That's our pregame show and our key to the contest, brought to you by Carpet Comfort Center, largest selection of flooring in Eastern Colorado, professional installation. Stop by in the Broadway Plaza Shopping Center in Sterling. 3-minute break, back to meet starters now. First serve next. Plainswomen and Cougars, number 5 versus number 3. This is the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back inside the Bank of Colorado Event Center where it's a tick rainy outside, not inside, 75 degrees as the showers have come in on this Saturday in September across the plains of Colorado, and the Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen get set to do battle against the Barton Cougars tonight. The Northeastern Plainswomen are 3-0 in this tournament. Barton is 2-1. Let's meet our starting lineups. They're brought to you by Stubbs. Stubbs has everything you need when you're traveling. I-76, exit 66A in Wiggins, that's Stubbs. Starters for the Plainswomen. That will be Caitlin Barnes, the 5'10 sophomore. Taylin Epple, the 6' sophomore. Stella Kader, the 6' freshman. Natalie Moore, the 6' sophomore. Kiera Loeu-Trey, the 6' freshman. And Samantha Mosley, the 6'6 sophomore. Libero Evie Gavette, she is a 5'4 freshman. Mina Kaneko, the Japanese sophomore, will be the libero for the Barton Cougars in this one. Barton, have to wait for them to break the huddle to see the rest of theirs, as it's apparently a long huddle for them. Will also be starting Paola Batista, the Puerto Rican freshman. Ori Brieger, the Brazilian sophomore. The reigning KJCCC Player of the Week, Indigo Pruitt, the 6'3 freshman from Kansas. Colony Cristini, the freshman from Brazil. And I'm missing one. I believe it is Hannah Riggs, the freshman from Kansas. Turn. Keep turning so I can see your number. Nope, pardon me. That's Stasa Stamenkovic, the Serbian freshman. It is the final of the starters for the Barton Cougars. Plainswomen in the black, Barton in the blue. Plainswomen begin with the serve going from our right to our left. And Kader will whip the serve down the middle. Popped up by Stamenkovic to the far pin. Big swing from Cristini, blocked back by Mosley. And then a dump set over the net by Ori Brieger. And she gets the dump kill and hands herself the serve. Brieger lines it down the middle, popped up high. Fielded by the Plainswomen. Loeu-Trey, big crossover pass to Mosley. She rips it down, dug into the rafters, kept in play, over pass to Mosley, and she rips it to the floor. Samantha Mosley for the Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen get the first kill on an overpass. She exits, and Sophie Wood comes in to serve in her spot. Wood whips it far side, too wide and out, so a service error for the Northeastern Plainswomen. Barton leads 2-1 in set one. And Cristini back to serve for the Cougars. She punches in near side on Caitlin Barnes. Kader backs up Mosley. Big rip to the floor again. Samantha Mosley with the first kill in system. Squares us at 2 and hands the serve to libero Evie Gavette. Gavette donning the gold jersey as the lib. High hand up, back row to the far pin. It goes for Stamenkovic. Blocked back. Lift ball on the coverage up by Brieger. And the Plainswomen take a 3-2 lead. Gavette. Powers it deep, popped up high, back row by Kaneko. Quick tempo attack, too big and out. Goes the swing of Aubrey Holblender, the sophomore from Kansas. And the Plainswomen have a 4-2 advantage. Gavette hammers it deep, handed up high, back row. Brieger backs at right side swing through the hands, and Paola Batista with the kill. First in-system kill of the match for the Plainswomen. Oblander takes the serve, or Olander, no B there. Olander Serve down the middle, fielded by Wood. Barnes pings it off the block at the net, and Caitlin Barnes gets the kill for the Plainswomen. Samantha Mosley takes a seat, and Maddie Shumway comes in to serve for her. Shumway, sophomore from Riverton, Utah, has assumed this right side DS role. Near overpass pushed through by Pruitt after the near block for the Plainswomen, and then a rollback 2 wide and out for Barnes off that coverage. And that's that mid-rally. You're going to get a surprise ball coming over or what have you. You've got to make sure that you're ready with that control. The Plainswomen were not. 6-2 substitution, Brylan Wicker, the freshman from Kansas, in as the right side hitter. Jana Tolnai, the Hungarian freshman, will take the serve. Tolnai, far side popped up by Shumway to the near pin. Barnes turned back. Nice coverage up by Gavette. Kader back to Barnes. Roll shot cross far side. Run down by Kaneko. Back set to the near side. Punch short. Ball diving up by Gavette on the punch from Wicker. And a free ball from Shumway goes into the net and down on the Plainswomen's side. Got to get those free balls over. Squared at 5. Back to serve for the Cougars again, goes Tonai. Slide to the pin. Natalie Moore goes line. Natalie Moore with a hot shot. She had 8 kills to go with 5 blocks last night in the 4-set win. The Plainswomen getting their middles involved, and that's the dangerous position for them when you can get that kind of balance. Barnes takes a serve as Loie Outre comes back in. Ball run up high to the far side, and a roll shot piped deep by Wicker. Handed up, slide Moore, turned it off the block. That's 2 in a row on the same ball, but 2 different swings set by Kader. Moore hit line, then hit cross, tooled the block on the cross to get her second kill. 7-5 NJC. Barnes down the middle, dug up back row, bump set to the far pin, through the block at the net, and the kill goes to Braylon Wicker. 7-6, Plainswomen early lead in set 1 as back in for Kellen Follis, who was the DS for Caroline Christine. Comes Christine, serve fielded by the Plainswomen. Loie Outre, big rip into the block. Kiera with her first kill of the night. And on to serve comes Kennedy Kerr for the Northeastern Plainswomen. Kerr, great service run, was named the team's DDC last night as the player of the game. Kerr spins it far side, run down by Kaneko to the far pin, cross deep, dug up by Kerr. Kader for a back row swing for Barnes, big topple deep, dug into the rafters by Stamenkovic. Pump back over in short for Barton. Near pin swing, Loie Outre through block and then down. That's 2 kills for her. Loie Outre with her second. 3 different players with 2, 15 points in on the Plainswomen's side. Kerr spins it far side, 2 wide and out. A second service error for the Northeastern Plainswomen. And Kaneko, the libero, will take the serve for Barton. Kaneko, that awkward approach. Shumway receives it nicely near side. 2 big power shots for Kiera. She tips it short, out of system. Big block back. Eppel and Loie Outre denying the swing at the net of Wicker. The Plainswomen get that block in early in this match. They haven't been able to get it in early in a lot of matches this weekend. Stella Kader. She'll take the serve. High flop deep. Fielded back row to the far pin. Christine, big swing. Nice receive by Barnes. Set to the near pin. Kiera into the antenna. That's a hitting error for the Northeastern Plainswomen. Six-2 substitution back to the starting bunch for Barton. Ori Brieger, the Brazilian sophomore, will serve. Brieger Flops it deep. Nice high receive by Barnes. Set it up for Eppel, who fires a howitzer at the head of the pushing in Brieger. She's able to put it in. Eppel with her first kill of the match. NJC already has 5 players with kills and leads 11-8 in set 1. Brought to you by Better Electric. Better does matter. 970-521-1030. Sophie Wood to serve. Wood, high float deep, high hand up back row from Staminkovic. Far pin, roll shot, swinging for hands that weren't out there. Hitting error for Paola Batista. And a timeout for Barton as they want to have a conversation. Plainswomen are rolling early in set number 1. But that doesn't always mean the Northeastern Plainswomen are fine in a set. We saw NJC twice in the first 3 matches this weekend get themselves up by a similar margin in the opening set, only to falter. So you've got to keep that consistency going, and I've seen it across all volleyball this year. At the high school level, I have a junior high player as a dad. I've watched NCAA Division I volleyball on TV this season, and it's just seeming like the modification in the rules, well, minor in the grand scheme of things, have actually created a lot more parity within each of the sets. Used to be, you're the first one to 15, you're winning the thing. Not necessarily the case now. Up 12-8, set 1. NJC out of Barton's first time out. We'll try and see if they can keep it going with Sophie Wood on serve. Wood punches it deep. Ball dug up high, back row, set to the far pin, into the antenna on the swing. Goes Staminkovic. Staminkovic with the hitting error, and now we'll have to pause as we're trying to get the music to stop. We played with a little Jay-Z going in that last point. I didn't necessarily mind it. Like, let's just go party, man. Why not? It's a Saturday night. 13-8. Wood lines the serve down the middle, popped up by Staminkovic, back row, big swing, blocked back at the net by Eppel on the Christiany swing. 2-touch play deep, Wood runs it down back corner, set to the far pin, big rip by Mosley, cross to the near side. Far pin swing, Mosley up, couldn't get the touch on Christiany's swing. Her first kill of the night and ends the run, but the Plainswomen up 13-9. Christiany, short serve, wide and out. So first serving error of the night for the Cougars, and Christiany will exit for Kaylin Follis, the freshman from Kansas. And Evie Gavette takes the Plainswomen serve. Gavette slings it near side, up back row, far pin swing, down and in. It goes for the kill from Staminkovic. And the balance has been pretty incredible across the board. 5 players with a kill for Barton, 5 players with a kill for NJC. Setters distributing nicely, 14-10 NJC. They field the serve with Wood center back. Kader to the near side, Barnes pokes it short, down the line, down to the floor for the kill. 4th different player with 2 or more in this first set for the Plainswomen. Maddie Shumway on to serve for the Northeastern Plainswomen. Shumway powers it far side, dug up high, back row, quick set, block at the net, and the return back by Pruitt off the block. Slide to Moore, tops it deep, tackled the back line. Natalie Moore with her 3rd kill of the match. Good little wrist flick to keep it on that line. Shumway with the serve up 16-10. Powered far side on Staminkovic. Back set near side off the block. Kader trying to cover it. Cannot. And Batista will get her 2nd kill of the match. First player with more than 1 on the Barton side. 6-2 substitution. Janka Tolnai, the Hungarian freshman, to serve. She'll be the setter now. Wickers the right side. Tolnai, the southpaw, too big and out on her serve. So each side with 2 service errors, each side with 0 service aces. Kiera Loe-Utre comes in on the front row. And Caitlin Barnes takes the serve. Barnes pushes it deep, back up, near side, off block, covered up by Shumway. Gavette bumps set, Loe-Utre, little punch, power tip, into the near corner. Loe-Utre with her 3rd kill of the match. First point out of system for the Northeastern Plainswomen. 18-11 their advantage in set 1. Caitlin Barnes hammers it deep, misplayed, back line. That's an ace for NJC. A second timeout used by Barton. Timeout made possible by Sterling Health Food, still open and still in the business of your best health, bending over backwards to get you healthy with a great rewards plan. Check out Sterling Health Food south of Sterling on Highway 6. Well, the Plainswomen on the road next week as they will take on North Platte and Southeast. We won't be traveling with them for coverage on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We'll be staying home next week. High school volleyball Tuesday, high school football Friday, right here on 94.5 The Ranch. Then next Saturday at 11 a.m., NJC women's soccer, who took the 3-1 win today against WNCC. They're now 3-1 in Region 9 play. They'll be welcoming in Western Wyoming in a battle of top 3 teams in the Region 9 standings. Top 4 host in the postseason. So the Plainswomen liking their spot right now. That'll be a big one next Saturday at 11 a.m. Caitlin Barnes with the serve out of Barton's second timeout, up 19-11. Far pin, roll shot short, diving up by Shumway, then more and a free ball dumped over by Gavette. Set down the middle, Pruitt tools the block and gets the kill. Indigo Pruitt with her first kill of the match. 6th player with a kill on the Barton side. As back to serve goes Stasha Semenkovic. Plainswomen up by 7, 6 away from taking set 1. Serve flop down the middle, nice high received by Gavette, set to the near pin. Loe-Utre caught the chin of Indigo Pruitt. The block swung and missed, and she wore that one off the chin. Kira's 4th kill of this first set. And Kennedy Kerr to serve for the Northeastern Plainswomen. 20-12. Kerr into the net on her serve. So her second service error after such a great night last night. Rocky start to this Saturday. The libero Mina Kaneko will head back to serve for the Barton Cougars. Kaneko fielded center back by Barnes. Set up to the near side. Loe-Utre, huge howitzer. Heads go ducking on the Barton bench because they nearly wore that one. It came off the dig so hot. Loe-Utre with her 5th of the first set leads the team. 21-13, and Stella Kader will serve as back in comes Samantha Mosley. Serve far side, overpass near the net. Mosley over the net trying to block a ball. With the back row setter, it's probably not coming over. Mental miscue, one of a rare amount of mental miscues for the Plainswoman sophomore this weekend. She's had a great weekend. Plainswomen lead by a touchdown. 21-14. Back to the starting center, Nori Brieger, her 3rd round at the service line. The Brazilian center, too big and out. And brings Sophie Wood in to serve, 22-14. Sophie. Walking approach, clipping the net cord, dug up back row, quick swing, blocked back. Eppel gets into a joust, keeps it over with Batista, freed back up, far side, Mosley turned back. It took 3 tries for Paola Batista to get a block on that one, but she finally was able to be scored with a block along with Carolina Christini, who takes a serve, 22-15 NJC. Christine pops it far side. Wood runs it up. Kader backs at far side. Back to Mosley. Blocked again. Wood frees it over. The punch sits on the tape. Stays on the Barton side. Up to try and get a block. The Cougars are arguing there was a touch, but Batista sailed that one long. No challenge coming from the Barton bench. 23-15. Gavette's third time at the line. Hammered down the middle, dug up high, back row, set to the far pin. Block couldn't close, and down the line and in. Staminkovic goes for her second kill. So Aubrey Olander will serve for the Barton Cougars at 23-16. Topples it near side on Caitlin Barnes. Sets it up for Nat Moore, who runs a power to the near side. Kept up. Scramble free, back over, Wood up, Kader to Moore, power swing, this time dug up, near the stands, chased down, and a free ball over by Christine. Center back up for Gavette, down the middle, Moore. If at first you don't succeed, try again. She sails the third crack long. Coach Nelson will take a timeout as it's 23-17. Not going to challenge that one there. I like what Stella Kader is doing. Timeout brought to you by Bank of Colorado. Apply for the loan you need for your dream home online, bankofcolorado.com. I like Stella Kader and her willingness to repeatedly go to the same player, because when you're playing, especially at this level, and I talked about it yesterday, you know, everybody, when you get to these nationally renowned tournaments like this one is, everybody's the same. Everybody has people that can hit hard and block good and dig good and whatnot. You expect, though, incredible balance, and in the end, you're getting incredible balance. But Stella's going middle, 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 pin, 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 right, right, right. You know, it's not the normal rhythm that she's been doing. And you kind of just feel that hot hand, you feel the set, you read where the block is. Plainswoman knew, Coach Nelson said it on the post-game show last night, that you knew this team was going to be very active with their middles. So why not respond with some middle activity yourself? 23-17. Topple serve far side, run up by Gavette, set to the near side. Caitlin Barnes dug high out of the back row. Pruitt trying to keep it in play, and the bump free will run back over. Gavette near the 10-foot line up. Near side Barnes again. She's turned back, covered by Gavette. Back to the far pin this time. Mosley, dig goes awry. Collision between two Barton players, and Samantha Mosley will get her third kill of the first set and take the Plainswomen to 7 set points at 24-17. Maddie Lynn Shumway on to serve for a third time. A lot of side-out volleyball, minimal runs in this first set. Maddie hammers it far side, back up, into the block of the net goes the swing of Batista. Kader to the near side, Barnes down the line, touch, no touch. Too big and out. Coach Nelson walking to the table. There's the green card. She says, yeah, let's take a look at this one. So for those unfamiliar in the collegiate challenge system, you get 2 per match, a third if we go to a 5th set, and you keep your challenge card unless you lose the challenge. And I think worthwhile to play one here if you're the Northeastern Plainswomen, because you got to the end of this, you really kind of feel like your footing is slipping a bit, and you're giving Barton some momentum. It's loud enough in here with the shirtless wrestling team below us creating a riot in action every point that you don't necessarily hear the 2 contact that you might in a high school gym or whatever, where things aren't as loud, although we have some loud high school gyms out here too. But that one appeared, at least to the naked eye, to change direction on the swing. The question is, did it change direction because of a block or just because of a weird swing? They will get the touch, and the Plainswomen will take set number 1. 25-17 on the challenge overturn. So NJC gets the challenge overturn to win set one. They lead Barton 1-0. Second set next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Northeastern Plainswomen takes set number one over the Barton Cougars 25-17. The challenge gave Caitlin Barnes her third kill of the first set. Plainswomen with 14 kills in the set. 12 of them in system. Estella Kader had a great command of the offense, and NJC hit 312 once again. Better than 300 in a set. I think they've done that all but 2 sets this weekend in this 41st annual Sheila Worley tournament. Barton now going from our right to our left. We'll have the serve to begin set number 2. Plainswomen on the receive from Ori Brieger. Set near side Mosley, who runs it to the near corner. Dug up back row, run ball back center. High up by Barnes to the far pin. Big hammer, Lowe-Utre. That is kill number 6 in the match for Kira Lowe-Utre. She has 6 kills on 9 swings. Yeah, that'll work. Good photos that you can see on our social media. Check out the Eastern Plains Sports Network on Facebook and Instagram. Serve down the middle. One-handed up, left-handed tip through by Staminkovic. To the near side, Mosley into the block, keeps it up off the top of her head, and then the run back over by Kader. To the near pin, swing deep by Christine, dug up by Wood. Far pin swing for Barnes off the block and down. Samantha Mosley got blocked back, just was in the way, and it went off her head. Ball stayed alive in the rally, and a 2-0 run to start set 2 for NJC. Serve from Wood, pop down the middle. Run down and a touch over for Staminkovic. Tried to play near corner. Wood read it, popped it up. Left-handed tip over. Ambidextrous campfire for Taylin Ethel. The marshmallows were toasty, and Kumbaya a kill, her second 3-0 run to start the set. Wood whips it deep. Staminkovic runs it down back row and a 10-foot line pop over by Batista. Kader back, Mosley swing, tools the block. Ball kept up and not cleanly into the net, and Samantha Mosley with her 4th kill in this match. Plainswomen on a 4-0 run to start a 6-0 run back to the end of set number 1. Sophie Wood hammers in near side, dug up by Staminkovic to the near pin cross. Gavette digs it up, Kader runs it down behind the back line, and Wood bump frees it over. Quick return back down the middle, 0 tempo up. Dig free over by Gavette onto the Barton side again. Back set far pin into the net on the swing. Goes Paola Batista. And NJC off to a 5-0 run to start set number 2. Already up 1-0. Wood just tapped it into the net. Plainswomen with their 4th service error of the match. But 5-0's a nice little start. Carolina Christini. Down the middle, up by Gavette. Kader sets, far side Barnes. Huge howitzer dug over press row. Caitlin Barnes with kill number 5 in the match. And Evie Gavette will serve, leading 6-1. Gavette. Fires it far side, split dig up back row for Barton. Run ball off the block at the net from Staminkovic. Kader back, Mosley swing, finds the floor for the kill. Mosley, the 3rd player with 5 kills in the match for the Plainswomen. 7-1, a 6-point NJC lead. Gavette topples it down the middle. Quick receive up. One-handed set goes over the net, and in the net on the set went Ori Brieger anyway. And a quick timeout for Barton as NJC has exploded out the gate heading into this second set. Sydney Regional Medical Center in Sydney, Nebraska wants to make sure you don't let the injury keep you out of the game. SydneyRMC.com for more. Well, a lot of home games coming up the rest of the season for the Plainswomen. This was the first weekend they were at home. They'll be home on Thursday, September 25th and Saturday, September 27th against McCook and Lamar. Both those programs feature local high school volleyball players that have moved on to play at the next level. So we'll be excited to welcome them back home. Southeast and North Platte at home in October on the 10th and 11th. That 11th is the night of the Cajun Boil. And then WNCC later on in the season. 8-1 NJC out of the timeout. Received by Kaneko. Block at the net for Mosley and Moore. Kept in play and run back deep. Wood overpass over. Tried to be run back down by Staminkovic. Up by Wood. Far pin Barnes down the line. Caught the antenna. So the hitting error for Caitlin Barnes. Just her 3rd of the match. Second and 3rd of the match. 8-2 NJC. Barton serves short. Nice receive by Barnes. Set up for Moore. Pops it short and finds the floor. It's homecoming season for the area high schools. Natalie Moore just getting a little cute for the homecoming season as well. Tipping a ball. That is Natalie Moore's 4th kill of the match. 9-2 NJC. Maddie Shumway will take the serve. Shumway winds it down the middle, dug up high, back row, set to the near pin. Big swing. Shumway can't read it down the line. You did not expect line there. At least I did not expect line there from Staminkovic. First swing on the middle as outside because of the rotation there. Rumble near side, 9-3 on the 6-2 substitution to Barnes, who pops it over the block of the net, plays it on Tolnai, the setter. To the near side, Staminkovic. Popped up high by Shumway. Far pin for Barnes, punches it in the block. Run back over by Pruitt. Back to Moore, the slide. Caught the back line. Natalie Moore, the 4th player with 5 or more kills in the match. 10-3 NJC in set 2. And Caitlin Barnes back to serve. Barnes whips it near side, dug up, but not cleanly, and a free ball popped dead center by Follis. Slide to the near side, Moore pops it into the block, covered by Shumway. Quick return far side, Loie Outre runs it down the line. Dug up back row to the 10-foot line, short pop, Redden covered by Gavette. Dump set over the net by Kader on the front row. Far pin swing, turn back, Natalie Moore and Kiera Loie Outre teaming up for this one. Moore's first block. 5 away from 9th all time on the NJC list is Natalie Moore now. 11-3 NJC. Caitlin Barnes serves near side. Follis with the up. Quick down the middle. Indigo Pruitt. Well, that was a great core turn there by the 6'3 middle. She got herself up. Blocked. Tried to block her to the far side, cheating with that left hand toward the far line, and was just able to core turn midair and turn the power back to the near side. Plainsmen still lead 11-4. Kader sets far side, Loie Outre, and she tops it into the net. Kiera is going to be a volatile hitter, a lot of reward, but a lot of risk there as well. By nature, she's an opposite. She's a right side hitter that is hitting as an outside for the Plainsmen. Right side hitters typically are more high risk, high reward. Kader keeps it up quickly. Oh my God! Terrible dig by Caitlin Barnes. Stella Kader, reactionary zero shot to the far post, and Kiera puts it down. Barton didn't even have time to move as fast as that one got into play. 12-5 NJC. Kennedy Kerr spins the serve near side on Krustany. Pruitt mishit it around the block and down for the kill. And to go Pruitt's third kill of the match, tied for the team lead with Stasha Staminkovic. Let's see, that was Tolnai as the setter. Mina Kaneko to serve for the Barton Cougars. Kaneko flops it far side on Shumway. Back row swing for Barnes. Just missed the back line. You like that back line attack if you can use it. And Caitlin Barnes had spent most of spring perfecting that. Serve angled wide and out from Kaneko. So the Plainsmen will hand the serve to Stella Kader, and Samantha Mosley goes back to serve. Kader up 13-7. It's adapted to the service game pretty nicely here in America. She whips it deep, one set near side. Kader will dig it up on the Kristany swing down the line. Out of system, Mosley turns the shoulder, dumps it down and in. Mosley gets up, soft pop over, out of system again. Far side, Loie Outre, huge whistle in. That is 8 kills for Kiera, and Evie Gavette with another assist. Just working that quick out of system ball in. NJC is able to utilize the same speed when you're out of system as you are in because of some savvy work and practices for the young players. Kader lines it down the middle. High up back row, Staminkovic. Left-handed swing off the block of the net for Olander. Olander is the 7th player with a kill this evening. Back to the starting setter and right side, Ori Brieger and Paola Batista. Brieger will take the serve, 14-8 NJC in this second set. Looking for a 2-0 lead for a second night in a row. Brieger's serve popped up back row by Barnes. Kader back near side. Mosley, nobody denied her. Mosley 6 kills, 1 hitting error. She's hitting better than 300, probably close to 350 in this match. Sophie Wood to serve for Kiera Loie Outre. Wood, Howers deep, out of the back row. The set for Brieger, gets a nice swing on the near side, does Batista. Far pin, Barnes goes line. It hit the antenna as she went line. So Caitlin Barnes, her 3rd hitting error of the set, her 5th of the match. She's hitting flat 0 with 5 kills. she's not typically a lower hitting percentage player. She hit .240 this spring and is hitting better than .220 all season. Quick back set to Taylor Epple. She runs it over in short. Back row swing for Christine off the block of Taylor Epple. It's so hard as a blocker because you want to get up on those back row swings, but as a big player in the back row, the 6-footer in Christine, you almost just have to deke her, hope she'll play it a little high and let your back line receive it. 15-10, Christine's serve, popped up by Barnes but not cleanly. 10-foot line jump cross to the near side, dug up by Kaneko. Near pin cross, Gavette high up. At the net, the Barton Cougars punch it over, and then Mosley runs it back on the second touch. Cross near side, out of system, Gavette. She'll bump that to the pin, and Barnes, who runs line, didn't touch anybody. Coach Nelson walking up to the edge of the line, having another conversation with Caitlin Barnes. You need Barnes out there on this pullback receive right now. Macon Butler's the next option, and she has not been as good of a receive. Plainswomen get a good receive this time from Barnes. Epple down the middle, up to the near pin, cross far side, played on Barnes. Kader back sets near side, Mosley. Middle block had to bite a second just because there's been so much regularity with middle, same rally, that it opened up a door for Samantha Mosley to be able to wipe it down. So you had changed up your swinging or your setting approach in the first set, and now that's keeping that block just slightly split. 16-11, Gavette. Far side, mishandled back line. She gets an ace for the Northeastern Plainswomen. Just the second ace of the match. 17-11, and off the floor will come Follis. Back in will come Christine. Gavette will go right at Christine, stepping in the libero to field it to the near side. Into the block at the net goes Stemenkovic. Back to the pin and run down the line. You didn't have a DS out there, and Mosley recognized running line would create the kill. That is 8 kills in the match for Samantha Mosley, equaled for the team high, 18-11 NJC. Evie Gavette with the serve again. Gavette, far side on Christine. Back set, far pin, soft poke, punched back over by Natalie Moore as Batista tried to get it. Dump set over Gavette up, one arm for Mosley, and the free ball over by Moore. Controlled up, near side poke. Gavette will dive it up off that zero down the middle. Block got there, but Barnes was able to tool it. Caitlin Barnes with her 6th kill of the match. Good work there by Aubrey Olander. A touch, a dump, and then that block. She was in the right spot, just not kept turned across the middle. When you're running to that right side to get those arms turned back in, you're going to just naturally, the elbows are going to turn that arm to the far side, and good recognition by Caitlin Barnes to get it there. Farm Bureau Insurance and agent Melinda Hutt has all your life, home, auto, farm, and ranch insurance needs. 431 West Main Street in Sterling, or better yet, 970-526-0202. Plainswomen took the first set 25-17. The second set, they're up 19-11. Plainswomen looking to go 4-0 for a second weekend in a row. Did it last weekend up at CSI and went 3-1 the weekend before that up at Laramie County. So this would be the team's 9th win in a row if they can finish this one off. Gavette at 19-11 now, out of Barton's second timeout. Serve fielded by Christine, back row. Near side run into the block at the net from Stemenkovic. Back row swing for Christine, dug up by Kader. Far pin, Barnes bangs it off the block. Wood pops it up. Then Gavette down the middle. Moore pokes it short. Diving up, back row swing. Christine again, this time the double there to run it down. Mosley and Moore with the block. Samantha Mosley's first block of the match. Moore's second. 20-11. A lot of back row set. This rotation's been a problem for Barton this weekend. Gavette whips it down the middle, received by Kaneko. Far side two-hand touch over, and Kader will pop it up. Plainsman out of system to Mosley near side. Cross dig toward the net, chase down, and then from behind the inline, the bump free over by Ori Brieger. Up by Gavette, down the middle, Moore pumps it to the back corner, chased down by Christeny, back to the near side, sharp crossover. Barnes up, then Kader backs it up. Near side, Mosley chips the block of the net, diving up by the setter, and then the near side swing down the line, too big and out for Staminkovic. Longer a rally goes, the more likely it is to end on an error, but neither side could stay in system there. It was always somebody other than the setter touching the second ball, 21-11. Gavette hammers it far side, dug up by Christeny, down the middle, huge hammer, dig back over by Kader on the big swing from Staminkovic, who gets it again, and again Kader gets it over. Third time, nope, come near side, joust at the net, and Staminkovic will put it off the block and down. Her fourth kill of the match. Two great digs by Stella Kader in the midst of that, though. Who's the setter? That's the setter. Plainsman lead by a palindrome, 21-12. Serve fielded by Wood, back row. Kader bumps that up. Mosley with the cross, handed far side. Scramble to keep it in play, and Pruitt will pop it over. Kader sets, far pin. Barnes, big swing. Pruitt was on the near side of the court, and she just had an extra step and a half. Couldn't close the split. Seventh kill of the match for Caitlin Barnes, and Maddie Shumway will take the serve for the Plainsmen. Serve for Shumway down the middle. Set to the near pin. Hopping block at the net. Shumway keeps it up. Far side. Barnes chips hands. Christeny. Far side swing. Shumway another dig. This time off the swing of Olander. High pop over by Barnes. Controlled up high out of system. Far pin swing. Caught hands to Batista. Set to the far pin. Barnes into the block. Dump set over the net by Kader. Ball handed up. Free ball touched over by Staminkovic, up by the Plainsmen. Moore on the slide to the near pin, hit the cross. Block was in the net, and the Barton coach, he's got a challenge. I might challenge the touch on that Barnes swing in the midst of that rally. Blocking error for the Barton Cougars. He won't. First blocking error of the match for Barton, 23-12. Serve ripped deep by Shumway. Set up for Pruitt, who rolls it over the block of Moore, and the back line back, expecting power. Indigo Pruitt, her fourth kill of the match. That equals the team high. So Janka Tolnai will take the serve as Wicker steps in. Tolnai floats it up by Gavette, overpass. Instead of letting Shumway take it, Gavette stepped in front of her, and this has been the problem when the three libs are out there. Who's going to be the one taking the lead? Ideally, yes, it's Gavette, but Shumway had a clean receive on that. Shumway doesn't have a clean receive here. Gavette will pop it over on the third touch. Set for Pruitt. Turn back, Natalie Moore. Helped out by Stella Kader. Gets the Plainsmen to set point at 24-14. That's Natalie Moore's third block of the match. Serve will be run, too big and out for Caitlin Barnes. A second service error of the set, 24-15. Stasha Staminkovic back to serve, the Serbian freshman for Barton. Staminkovic fielded by Barnes, center back it up. Natalie Moore rips it down the line, 25-15. The Plainswomen take set number 2, and they lead 2-0. Third set next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
High-level volleyball is fun. That's the Italian Thank you. Yeah. Well, because you want to play it on the center. You want to get them out of distance. And the Plainsmen do a really good job of getting out of covering when they're out of distance to allow her to receive.
Why are they even playing against them? Yep. Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, no, it's this is the most elite program I've ever been a part of because we just bring new players in and we just keep doing it. It's something special to watch.
I heard you're kicking some papers. Yeah. I'll take it. 40 digs.
I know.
What's that?
No, this is two. This is 3-2.
I didn't know if they gave you. Oh, they do a like a. I'll bring it.
Yep, running tally through.
I don't think I've seen them look up off their phone at all.
I know, right? Yeah, he is.
Plainsmen lead 2-0 as we come back into the Bank of Colorado Event Center for the third, looking for the 9th win in a row. We're the Northeastern Junior College Plainsmen. Third set brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Borrow your money and do your banking with people you know and people who know you. Equitable-savings.com. Plainsmen hit 302 in the second set, but I think even more impressively for NJC, 26 digs in that second set. No, 29 digs in that second set. They only had 11 in the first set, 40 through 2. The Plainsmen won the long rallies in set 2. And they're 25 points away from sending us to the weekend on a sweep. Plainsmen going from right to left in this third. Stella Kader will have the serve. Kader, too big and out on the serve. If there's one fault, it's that tonight for NJC, but I've talked about that before. Volleyball in the service game is becoming a much more high-risk, high-reward, and the risk is worth the reward with the change in the sport. Serve fielded by Barnes, back row, backs at far side. Mosley, huge hammer deep, kept in play, and a free ball popped over. Up by Stella Kader, back to the near side. Loiu Trey, overpass dig, back to Caitlin Barnes. Back to Mosley, huge rip down the line, and Samantha Mosley with kill number 9. Mosley over 60 kills on the weekend. Now has 8 kills, 1 hitting error on 19 swings. So she's better than 350 tonight, 1 all. Sophie Wood with the serve for the Plainsmen. Down the far side, not played cleanly, and an ace for Sophie Wood. Wood, who had an exceptional noon match yesterday against Iowa Western. Flies it far side, dug up high into the rafters by Stamenkovic to the far pin. Way too big and out. Sailing it is Paola Batista. And you look at Barton, they've taken some good swings, but they have a dozen hitting errors and about 78 total swings. NJC only has 4 of those hitting errors created by their block. Line serve by Wood down the middle. How about 2 aces over the last 3 serves? And a 4-1 NJC lead. Wood. Whips in near side. Christie with the up. Quick down the middle. Nice swing for the Barton Cougars. Aubrey Olander, she didn't have a lot of overtly attractive numbers. That was just her second kill, but she's taken some really, really good swings that just haven't gone down. 4-2 Plainswoman, 4-3 now as Christie tumbles an ace in. That's the first receive error of the night for NJC. Christie flops it, center on Evie Gavette, bumps at Kader to the near side. Barnes, I don't think that one got through. Ultimately goes out. Barnes struggling a little bit in the overall hitting department tonight. She's been set more than anybody else. Below 100 on the hitting. 4-all. Wood with the up. Near pin. Barnes. Go right back to her and let her earn it back. Caitlin Barnes, 8 kills, 5 hitting errors. 6 hitting errors. Evie Gavette takes the serve for the Plainswoman up 5-4. Gavette pumps it far side on Kaneko. Back set, near side off the block. Gavette pops it up. Tried to be dumped back over. Kader backs it up for Mosley, who pushes it over and deked the block into the net as Kader had to keep it on her side as a back row player. The block, I think, thought she was dumping it over and tried to reach up and caught tape. 6-4 NJC. Serve angle far side for Evie Gavette. Dump tip down the middle by Olander, and Olander 2 kills in this set. And Olander will serve for herself. 6-5 Plainswoman. Olander tumbles in near side, up back row by Wood, set it up for Natalie Moore, who pings it into the block of the net. To the near pin with the swing. Block was tooled out of system. First kill tonight out of system for the Barton Cougars, where it's a non-setter touching the second ball, and it was outside Christie that was able to get the assist there. 6-all. Olander parks it deep, up by Wood. Kader with the bump set, near side Barnes. Handed off the block at the net by Staminkovic. Dump set off the block. Gavette up. Barnes near side. Christie chases it up high back row. Far pin. Staminkovic tools the block and gets the kill. First player to 5 kills in the match for the Barton Cougars, and a 7-6 Barton advantage, their first lead since early in the first set. Serve into the net by Olander. That's the 5th service error of the night for Barton. NJC has 6. Maddie Shumway on to serve for the Plainswomen. Shumway whips it far side. Christie overpass to Stella Kader, who pounds it to the floor. Stella gets a kill, not on a dump. The 6th player with a kill for the Northeastern Plainswomen tonight. And they retake the lead 8-7 in the third set, up 2-0. Shumway slides the serve far side, far pin, big hammer. Plainswomen had to make a decision on Staminkovic there. Were you going to try and pop the ball over on the overpass or block her swing? They elected for the prior and should have gone the latter. Yanka Tolnai on to serve and now set. Tolnai fielded by Shumway back row. Bumps that to the near side. Barnes down the line and in for the kill. Nice side out in the rotation that's been a receive problem this weekend for the Plainswomen. Barnes takes the serve. That receive rotation 4 has crept up as a problem for NJC. It hasn't been this season until this weekend. Near side dig into the rafters off the swing from Gavette. to Loe-Utre, sliding dig out by Kaneko, and the push over by Christine, up by Moore. Back to Loe-Utre, into the block. She tools it all the way over press row on the far side. Kiera with her 9th kill of the match. Tied with Samantha Mosley for the team lead, 10-8 NJC. And Caitlin Barnes continues with the serve. Barnes, short serve, diving up, back row, set far pin. Big block back. Natalie Moore and Stella Kader denying the swing on the far pin of Breland Wicker. 4th block of the match for Natalie Moore. 11-8. Serve down the near side, popped up back row to the far pin and a push down the line. Shumway up, Kader bumps that. Loe-Utre spins it near side. Christine up. Back set to the near side. Able to work that out of back right to a front right swing. Good job setting by Yanka Tolnai. Wicker's first kill since the first set. 11-9, center serve, up by Shumway. Moore, far side on the cheat slide. Natalie Moore with her 7th kill of the match. Plainsman will let Natalie Moore serve for herself. It's Ben Kennedy Kerr, but Moore will get the opportunity to serve. Far pin set, Christine. Banged into the antenna, so a hitting error. And a timeout by Barton as the Plainsmen have grown the lead to 13-9 in this 3rd set. The Northeastern Plainsmen just consistent all weekend long, and you like where this team is at right now. Offensively, they're hitting better than 300. And again, I mean, you have 2 hitting errors and 6 kills through the first 24 points of this set. I'm pretty sure you're better than 300 in this set. You feel good with where that is. But it's a different brand of volleyball that you're going to have to play starting on Tuesday. North Platte, Southeast, Lamar, Trinidad, Otero, McCook, WNCC, Laramie County, Eastern Wyoming. It's all Region 9 volleyball. It's not the Kansas team. Oh, now you're seeing a Utah team. Oh, now you're seeing an Iowa team. Oh, now you're seeing a Texas team, a Florida team. You know, they played all of those. You now are getting into the Region 9 schedule with essentially 2 days of training to get there. Another hitting error out of the timeout for Christine. So it will be in the end, volleyball's volleyball. It didn't matter where or what or how. Hit the ball, put the ball down. A near ace for Natalie Moore. A free ball, the result. Moore keeps it up. Kader tried to get to it. I think Moore thought Shumway was taking it. Plainsmen are used to having Kennedy Kerr out there, but she was not out there. Makes me wonder if maybe NJC wasn't planning on a late set substitution for some of the bench players who haven't seen time this weekend. Overpass for Barnes on the receive. Setting now is Malia Neal, the freshman from Arkansas. Barnes out of the back row. Ball's dug up high and a touch free short. Up by Shumway. Slide to Eppel. Off block. Diving up back row by Neal. Far pin swing. Down the line. Barnes with the up. Shumway with the chase down. And Loe-Utre spins it center back. To the far pin. Christine down the line. Block didn't close. And she gets the kill. Her 3rd of the match. So Malia Neal, the 3rd setter on this Barton roster, getting time in this 3rd set and actually setting some pretty balls. Serve near side, popped up by Shumway. Loe-Utre whistles one off the arms of the libero Mina Kaneko. Kiera with 10 kills in the match. And Kader will take the serve for the Plainsmen. as Samantha Mosley returns back in on the front row, up 15-11. Kader down the far side, not played cleanly. That's an ace for Stella. Kader, 32 assists, had 11 digs through the first 2 sets. She might be our GDC Plainsman of the contest. I don't know, there's a lot of options. Far pin swing, Christine, tip off the block. Kader will cover it up. Bumps that far pin, Mosley rolls it, finds the floor. Samantha Mosley to 10 kills in the match. So 2 in double figures. Caitlin Barnes is 2 away. Natalie Moore is 3 away. 17-11. Serve ripped down the middle, high up, back row, Staminkovic. Near pin, poke short, diving up by Gavette, but not able to keep it in play. Wicker gets it down.
Back to serve for the Cougars, number 4, Ori.
So Ori Branger will take the serve back to the starting setter right side with Paola Batista back in on the front row. 17-12, set 3. Plainsman 8 away from a sweep for the first time this weekend. Barnes misreceived back row. Gavette to the near pin. Loie Outre denied back by Olander and Batista. Batista's third block, Olander's first. (17-13), flop near side. Loie Outre up. She'll be set from the 10-foot line and hop hands. Out of system to the far pin, Christine cross. Nice receive up by Gavette. Kader running bump set. Big split of the back line for Kiera Loie Outre. And Loie Outre with 11 kills in the match will take a seat. Sophie Wood on to serve. 7 away from winning in 3. Wood pushes in near side. Far pin set and a pop shot over short. Played on Kader. Bumps that to the near pin. Barnes pokes it short. Sliding dig up by Christine out of the back row. Staminkovic able to rip it in. That's her 3rd kill of the set, 7th of the match. Christine with the serve. Up back row by Gavette, set for Taylin Epple, no touch. Too big and out goes Taylin Epple. Plainswoman won't challenge. I think maybe thought about it, but up 2-0. Even though you've got 2 of them, I think you trust that your team can try and get this done. Kept in play out of the net by Kader, off the dig and a free ball over. Tip short and Gavette controls it up. Back it up, far side. Mosley rip it down. Samantha Mosley with her 11th kill of the match. Still only 1 hitting error. Gavette takes the serve. 19-15, Plainswoman. Gavette flops it down the middle on Kaneko. Far pin swing, huge hammer dug to the back wall. What a swing by Olander, her 3rd kill of the set, and she takes the serve. This Barton team is still a high-level team in spite of what you've seen this weekend. An ace here to show. They've struggled with consistency. They did not look good in the sweep win against Laramie County. They just turned it on at the right point in each of the sets to win some close ones. Looked not good at all against Odessa yesterday. Earlier today looked very good against New Mexico Junior College. The Plainswomen have just been on fire this whole match. So you've got the skill, as Natalie Moore put it to the floor. That's 8 in the match for Natalie Moore. Just getting that run, but Plainswomen up 3. They're on the front foot. They need to have some miscues if Barton's going to open the door. Can create some of those with a swing. Nice swing, deep, big, off the block of the net goes Caitlin Barnes. Barnes in double figures, the third Plainswoman with 10 or more kills. Shumway up 21-17. Powers it far side. Back set to the near pin. Turn back. Natalie Moore with her 5th block of the match. Moore is one shy of Jamelia McNeil for 9th on the all-time list. She just moved into the top 10 last night. 22-17. Serve fielded by Christine, back row to the far pin, hopping tape, Shumway up from the back row, bumps that Kader to the near side, Barnes arcing near line, up by Christine, to the far pin swing, block back, Natalie Moore, kept up high, back through the block, goes in to go Pruitt, 5th kill, just the second player over 5 this evening for Barton. 6-2 substitution will bring Malia Neal and Breland Wicker on. Neal setting in this third set, and the wrestlers have found some brooms. They're going to be cleaning the gym afterwards, so they're just getting a head start on their job is the idea, I guess. How about an ace for Barton? Malia Neal puts it back on Shumway. This is receive 4 for NJC in their rotation. It has been a problem all weekend long. Shumway, great receive this time. Slide to Natalie Moore. She'll power it near side. Bumped up high and a roll shot played over. Short, down and in for the kill for Stasha Stemenkovic. Team's leading attacker with 8 kills, and Coach Nelson will take a timeout at 22-20. Rudy's Tires has several locations across the area, so there's always one close by. They can come to you if you can't get to them. Visit rudystires.com for more information. I said it, this Barton team is not a bad volleyball team. NJC's just been playing that good, and once you open the door with a miscue, whether it's a hitting error or a receiving error, Barton's going to take advantage of it. And that's playing at that high level of national volleyball that NJC has seen, one of the hardest schedules in the nation for the Northeastern Plainswomen. They played 3 ranked teams last weekend, 3 ranked teams this weekend, 2 ranked teams the weekend before, 3 ranked teams the opening weekend of the season. Always teams in the top 20. One slight miscue is going to create an opportunity there, whereas you may not see some of those same runs if you didn't play as tough of a schedule. This is by design. This is how NJC's become an elite program in the nation. 22-20, serve via to back row by Evie Gavette. Dump set over by Stella Carrera from her backside. Neal with the bump set. Kept up by Barnes. Back to Barnes near side. 2-hand touch toward the far line. Out of system, far side for Staменkovic. She hops hands. Up back row by Wood to the near pin. Barnes through the block. Powered out by Kaneko. Dump over the net by Malia Neal. And she found the back left uncovered corner. And Barton within 1. 22-21. Malia Neal whips the serve down the middle, up by Evie Gavette, backs at Natalie Moore, covered by Shumway, high back into the radar zone of Staменkovic, and she rips it down. 22 all. Coach Nelson to the edge of the line. She has a timeout to take. She's not going to take it. Neal, short serve, fielded back row, set to the near pin. Barnes through the block, handed up by Christine. Back row, Staменkovic, far pin. Natalie Moore up to block it back. Shumway cover, Kader. Sets to Barnes, who tips it near line. Chase down high. Staменkovic, far pin, handed up, back row by Shumway, and a tip over by Barnes. They're going to go to Staменkovic again. Natalie Moore up and forces the hitting error. Staменkovic with the thought to try and go line. Moore had been jumping early on that cross to prevent the cross, mistiming her jump on purpose, and baited her into a hitting error. 23-22, overpass to Loiu Trey. She hammers it in, a dozen kills, gives the Plainswomen Match point at 24-22. Timeout by Barton. Oh, my goodness. But that's exactly what I just talked about. If you're Barton, you're playing one of the elite teams in the nation. Number 5, NJC. Barton's number 3. You open the door with a longer rally where you think, I can go line because of the quick jump up for Natalie Moore to block the cross. You want to try and jump with that ball getting there so you're reaching your apex as the ball's coming across. Moore was just jumping a fraction of a second early, saying, hey, hit line, and baited her into hitting it into the net, and then a receive overpass to Loiu Trey. Just 2 minor miscues, and NJC has 2 match points to sweep for the first time this weekend. Caitlin Barnes with the serve. Down the near side, up by Staminkovic. Set back for Staminkovic. Tools the block of Moore and Loiu Trey. 10 kills in the match for Stasia Staminkovic, who will serve still Plainsman match point at 24-23. Staminkovic flies it far side, received by Barnes. Back set, Natalie Moore to the floor. Moore's 9th kill of the match. Plainswomen sweep number 3 to put an exclamation point on the weekend at the 41st annual Sheila Worley Tournament. Plainsman sweep 4-0 for a second weekend in a row. Post-match show next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Welcome back into the Bank of Colorado Event Center postgame show. The Northeastern Junior College Plainswomen sweep Barton and put the stamp on the weekend, 25-23 in the third. We're joined by Natalie Moore on our postgame show here. You moved into 10th place on the all-time blocking list last night. You had 10 kills and 5 blocks again today. you're really starting to find a groove. What's changed for you over the last couple weeks?
I would just say kind of getting a rhythm with our team. It's hard to like have a new setter and new just everything since we're only a 2-year college, and I think we've really started to have good chemistry, and it's taken all of us.
It has taken all of you guys. You guys obviously have a different build on this year's team than you did last year. How has your role evolved from where you were last year to this year?
I'd say I've just kind of had a bigger role than I did last year. I'd say I kind of played, or Anna was like our big hitter middle last year, and I think I've kind of tried to step into that position and get kills and be both defensive and offensive for our team.
You had the best freshman season as a blocker last year here at NJC, and I think you're better this year. How did you work to get better as a blocker?
I just say practice, reps. Yeah, I've kind of been struggling through the beginning of this year, just blocking-wise, but I think just continuing to try and get better during practices and just reps.
Well, and last year you were oftentimes, especially early in the year, not always against the best hitter.
Yeah.
Then as the year went along, it was like, oh yeah, she needs to be on top of our best hitter. Everybody knows what you're bringing this year. So if you had to change, I noticed, and I was commenting on it late in the third set, you changed your block timing on that far pin with the big number 5, the Serbian girl. To kind of work that there. Is it just some of those little changes you have to make to get better?
Yeah, I just say it's kind of different for each hitter, and our coaches talk to us like on the sideline and tell us what to do, so it's kind of just adjust in the moment type thing. 9
straight wins now for this team.
Yes.
You guys are happy and having fun. How do you continue to do that now? Because it's no longer 4 matches in a weekend, it's 2 matches in a week. So how do you keep that energy up when you're not playing?
I just say we're trying to be consistent. Like just whether it's in practice or it's in games, just keeping like our energy high and making it serious no matter what it is, even if it's just in practice, not a game.
Absolutely. Natalie Moore's had a great weekend, and we're glad we got to talk to you. Congratulations on a good one today. Northeastern Plainsman win in 3, 25-17, 25-15, 25-23. And as we mentioned, she had 10 kills. She had 5 blocks. Caitlin Barnes had 10 kills. Samantha Mosley had 11 kills. Kira Loiu-Trey had 12 kills, as we're joined by Coach Mackenzie Nelson. This is the match.
Thanks.
4 guys in double figures, or 4 ladies in double figures in a sweep. Have you had that happen this year? Because I don't think I've seen it on the box.
I don't think so.
Just feeling it tonight. And I think the thing that was coolest was that Stella, she had 11 digs through 2 sets. You did a lot of it out of system tonight.
We train, to be honest, like 60-70% of our practices out of system, just because we know that teams know they have to get us out of system to be able to beat us. So I thought our outsides and Samantha did a really, really good job of seeing their defensive patterns and being able to get the kills even out of system.
60 digs, is that as a team tonight?
Oh, wow.
Evie Gavetta had 19, as you would expect, but Stella with 14 there. And it seemed a little bit more comfortable with that one rotation. I think it's receive 4 for you guys, where you have the 3 liberos out there. How did you work with Sophie and Evie and Maddie to kind of get them to find the chemistry all on the floor at the same time?
Yeah, I think we talked about it a lot last night, of the fact that we have 3 liberos on the court. Every single one of them have been in the lib jersey. And so every single one of them wants to go get the ball. And so really having that trust of, we don't have to cover anybody else. We can just stay straight up in our zones and trust that. And I thought they did a much better job of that tonight.
You guys have been playing tournaments, 4 matches in 2 days, or 3 in the case of this weekend. Now that goes away, and you play 2 matches in a week. I asked Natalie how she plans on keeping the energy up. How do you as coaches plan on keeping the energy up when you're not on the court, so that this team can keep getting better?
Yeah, I think we just have to keep reminding ourselves of what our goals are this year. And pushing towards them and not getting complacent and making sure that we're making ourselves better in practice every day.
You guys go on the road to North Platte and Southeast. That's a road trip we haven't made before.
Right.
So, is there any different mental preparation on a road trip that we've not made in this conference, or is it just going to be same old, same old?
No, same old, same old. We're going to focus on us. We'll do our job when it comes to scouting reports. I think this team is really, really good about taking those scouting reports and Taylor and I's game plan and executing it to a T, so we're just going to keep doing that.
She was unable to be here this weekend, but the 41st annual Sheila Worley tournament, I would say we did her proud with all the volleyball, not just your guys's, but every match that was in here this weekend. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
It was, and that's something that we take pride in with this tournament, is that we want it to be extremely high level, and I definitely think we got that this weekend.
Absolutely. Coach Mackenzie Nelson, thank you for having us along and joining us on the postgame show.
Thank you.
Plainswomen win in 3, and they're 4-0 for a second weekend in a row. They start conference play on the road Tuesday. We'll be back with you for Plainswomen volleyball on Tuesday the 23rd in Scottsbluff against WNCC. I'm Ben Blecky. You've been listening to the 41st annual Sheila Worley Tournament on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
I don't think they played that bad. I think Barton, that was the best they looked all weekend, in my opinion. You look, yeah, I mean, better than 300 for a whole match.